Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Bob Pompeani, flanked by Gene Collier tonight. We are here manning the controls of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call every night on Pittsburgh CW, 7 nights a week. We don't take a night off. You can call us at 412-575-2600. That is the number of the Bordas & Bordas hotline. A lot of Steeler news over the last several days. We saw not only the season-ending report for Ben Roethlisberger, surgery later this week. That meant they had to come up with a backup to Mason Rudolph, so they brought in Devlin Hodges, and he now is the primary backup, which is interesting at this point. They also signed today to the practice squad Paxton Lynch, a former #1 pick of Denver, never worked out there. He only started 5 games. He was released. He went to Seattle. He was released, and now he's here. He had practice squad eligibility. He's big, 6'7". But, you know, when he played for Memphis in college, he was pretty good, to the point where he was a #1 pick in the same draft that also had Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. They went 1-2. He went number 26, and he never panned out. Not to mention, the Steelers made a crazy trade last night, something you wouldn't expect, trading a #1 pick next year for Minkah Fitzpatrick. On that note, we welcome in the outstanding columnist of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Mr. Gene Collier, author of Rudolph the Red Zone Reindeer. If you saw that on Twitter, I applaud you for that. You're always very fertile in your commentary.
Fertile?
Is that a right word?
Yeah, that's good enough.
That's good enough.
Appreciate it, Bob. Thanks.
What about Minkah Fitzpatrick? How do you, a lot of people have split decisions on this. I understand why they did it. Kid's a playmaking guy in the secondary. They need more of those. Do you like the trade?
Well, I like it from the standpoint that it can improve their defense, which is awful, absolutely awful. So they have a great need in that area. But the Steelers generally do not react in this manner by trading, you know, their #1 draft pick. I mean, that's really at odds with the way they normally do things. So people are right, I think, to try and read into this a little bit. Does this mean that Kevin Colbert and or Mike Tomlin think they're not going to be here next year unless they turn this around immediately? You know, I think that's, you know, legitimate speculation.
Yeah, I think, you know, at 0-2, they also don't want to give up on the season. This team is built for kind of now.
Right,
the window is now. Even without Roethlisberger, they have a lot of veterans on this team. And, Gene, when you look at their defense now, 8 #1 draft picks, there is no excuse for them not coming up with a scheme that works so they can get results on the playing field. And they need to start doing that this week, which would then help a young Mason Rudolph get a good running game going, which would help a young Mason Rudolph. They got to do a lot of things similar to what they did in 2004 when Ben Roethlisberger took over for Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously Ben's, you know, he was being projected as the quarterback down the road, so to speak. And, you know, the road lasted, you know, a game and a half when Tommy Maddox went down in Baltimore. And the Steelers went 15-1 that year. Now, you know, they can't do that this year. They can only go 14-2. But you know, I thought the Steelers were a 9-7 team with Ben, so I'm not going to pretend like you know, they're on their way to the playoffs.
No, you know, the thing is also I don't expect a complete collapse like a lot of people do, and those out there who are critical of this trade will say, well, now you're turning your back on a top 5 pick, and that could produce a quarterback. The problem with that scenario, Gene, is that next year it looks like kind of a lean quarterback draft. There aren't a lot of guys. The year after may change, but I don't know that you can look that far ahead. What if Mason Rudolph, and they invested in him, and they like his, you know, what he did in college, his resume, everything he brings here. What if he's pretty good? And then you go into next season with a healthy Roethlisberger and him.
Well, look no farther than Paxton Lynch. I mean,
right.
You can't speculate on what a quarterback's going to do no matter where you take him in the draft. It doesn't matter. That argument holds no water in my view.
All right, we're going to talk about that. Cleveland won a game last night. Odell Beckham Jr. back in New York. Jets stink. Le'Veon Bell had a fumble. You know, the AFC North is, I think, up for grabs still. Baltimore's off to a 2-0 start, but the schedules are hard for all of these teams, and who knows, and as we've seen, you're one injury away from changing the entire dynamic of a team. So there's a lot of football left. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. The Pirates play tonight in the aftermath of what happened with Felipe Vasquez. We're not going to talk about that. It's a terrible thing, you know it. The details are on the news, but we will talk about, if you want, what they're going to do, and does this make it even worse in terms of the futures of Huntington and Hurdle. They lost tonight 6-0 to a team had 3 fewer wins than they did, Seattle Mariners. We'll be back with your comments, your calls, 412-575-2600. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call on Pittsburgh CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert. Siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty and integrity still matter.